everybody, Ben here, and today is layout update video number 5. The first thing that I have been doing is constructing Nigel. I didn't actually say it in the video that I did, but I've decided to call it Nigel for some reason. I don't know why I did, however I think it could be done a bit better in terms of the construction, but I think it's pretty good for, well, me. And if you want to know more, I did a whole video on it. The major thing that I've been working on since the last layout update video is working on the extension to the layout, making it into the L shape that it is now, and also adding the fiddle yard so the run's a bit longer for the locomotives now as well, of the layout, and adding a longer piece of wood on the back there where the back seam will eventually go. Another thing that I've been doing is coming up with a track plan for my layout using a planning software called Scarum, I think, and also ballasting the layout. I did a whole video on the planning of the layout using Scarum. I've also started construction of another locomotive built on the same chassis as my Wickham trolley that is somewhat inspired by the locomotive that used to work at the Fry's chocolate factory. Well, this locomotive is still pretty early in development, as you can see it isn't filled, nor sanded or painted yet, and still needs extra detail added to it. I've also been working on this small industrial museum for the Heritage Railway, and the barn has some windows fitted to it which are made out of sellotape, and that's eventually going to have an interior made to it, which is going to be the first I ever done. However, it's going to be pretty small as it's a very small building. The building with the chimney on it has a small section of track heading out of the door on it, which is actually closed, and that'll be eventually inset, which is where the Fry's locomotive, as you can see, is going to be sat, as it is currently unpowered and doesn't have any plans to be motorised. I've also started work on the smaller side of the diesel shed, but that's definitely not finished, and more about that will probably be in the next layout update video. As you can see here, it's made out of paper and it's still pretty early in development, but that's what it's going to be like. That one there is how long that one's going to be, and eventually it's going to go all the way up to roughly where the end of the Class 68 is going to be. That's how long that shed's going to be. So the different lengths to add a bit more variation, instead of getting a normal kit built one for me to build or take apart. Another thing that I have got is this Budget Model Railways Bobo 3D printed diesel body to go on the K2 chassis. My idea is to have it as a Heritage Railways diesel, so the Heritage Railway only has one diesel, but it's kind of a cheap to operate diesel. It's kind of a freelance one, but I think it looks very British and is somewhat similar to a Class 28, I would say. I guess it will pull sort of, the less busy days trains on the Heritage Railway, or sort of just freight trains, well, more like engineering works trains, but anything that the Heritage Railway needs it to do, and it's much more cheaper to operate than steam locomotives, I would guess. And here's a quick overview of the model, which includes buffers, as you can see here. There's also the 2 pairs of buffers and fuel tanks to go on each end, and for £10 I think this is pretty good compared to various other 3D printed diesel locomotive bodies to go on the same K2 chassis. I think it's the 11-107 chassis, and I think it's pretty good. I hope you enjoyed this video by me. Please like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below telling you my video ideas or feedback. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.